Welcome everyone on this New Year's Day. Happy New Year to all. So nice to see everyone, and hope you had a great New Year's Eve and your 2023 is off to a good start. So one thing to highlight is next weekend we have our first one-day retreat of the calendar year. So be sure to register for that. Check that out. Look forward to seeing many of you there. Today, we are fortunate to be joined by Eddie, and I will pass it over to him. And thanks, Eddie.
Thank you, Nathan. Well, welcome everybody on this auspicious day. Hi, Elizabeth, some dear friends, and Surya gave me a call the other day and said, "Well, I'm not going to be around. Would you like to jump in and help out?" And I said, I thought about it for a moment and said, "Okay." And so here I am. I'm an old friend of Surya's. We met about almost 40 years ago now, and we've traveled along the spiritual path together. We have sort of parallel practices. His much more reference to Tibetan, and mine is more in the Vipassana or early Buddhist traditions. But we go to the same places. We've experienced similar things, and we've had a relationship that allows us to share those dimensions to our practice together over many meals, meditations, fun events, and just hanging out. And Kathleen, who's Surya's assistant, just said, "Have fun." So I'm here to share some reflections, mostly on wholesome mental and emotional states with you, to do some practice and to take any questions. Now, I think it's correct to say questions and response has changed from question and answers. So I'm happy to do that. A little bit my own story. As I said, I've been practicing for over 50 years in the Vipassana tradition, and have evolved in that style of practice, and have recently been more involved with Surya and the Dochen practices that you all are very well aware of. And so I'd like to share some of that with you and actually give you a flavor. I have it out of Surya's manual. We'll begin with a practice to elicit the wholesome states of gratitude, generosity, forgiveness, and explore the four Brahma Viharas, which are metta, loving kindness, and we'll actually do a loving kindness meditation this morning. Karuna, compassion, mudita, sympathetic joy, and upekkha, which is equanimity. But first, why don't we imaho, find a comfortable seat, breathe, relax, center, and smile. Befriend yourself and befriend the world. Relax and release all physical and mental tension. Just let go, let come and go, let be. Familiar refrain from Surya in his beginning of practice. Let be at home on the spot, on the dot, awake and aware. As it is, Kuntu Zangpo. See Buddha, be Buddha. Rest inseparable in meditative equipose, balanced and at ease in the innate Buddha-ness of original nature. The natural state, just as it is. Right here and now, Kuntu Zangpo. Just sitting, just breathing, just being. Enjoy the three naturals: natural body, natural breath and energy, natural heart, mind. And as we practice together on this auspicious day, let us feel the gratitude of having arrived at this moment. Gratitude above, gratitude below, gratitude all around. For ourselves, for each other, and for this planet we call home. And elicit the spirit of generosity in our hearts, of giving to help others, that in turn helps ourselves. And sitting with those for a moment and just taking that reflection. And as we start our practice, I'd like to share with you a poem by Rumi, a Persian mystic, that captures for me these qualities about life and impermanence. It's called The Guest House. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. And staying with the reflections on wholesome states and the Brahma Viharas, let us tune ourselves to the loving kindness of the Buddha's teachings. From the heart, I wish you all well, the essence of loving kindness. And if comfortable, we say these phrases to illuminate our internal heart and the practice of sharing metta. Use any phrases that resonate with you or just let it pass you by. But we start by looking in our own heart. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be free from mental and physical suffering. May I live life at ease. And we repeat this saying. May I be well. May I be happy. Free from mental and physical suffering. May I live life at ease. And for the third time, remaining with our own heart and finding the spaciousness and overflowing of loving kindness for ourselves. May I be well. May I be happy, free from mental and physical harm. May I live life at ease. And after dwelling there for a moment, we move on. Bring to mind someone dear to you, a teacher, a mentor, someone who has helped you along your path of spiritual unfolding. And wish for them as we did for ourselves. May you be well. May you be happy, free from mental and physical harm. May you live life at ease. And again, we repeat these sayings for someone dear to you that helped you along your path. May you be well. May you be happy, free from mental and physical harm. May you live life at ease. And for a third and final time, with this person in your heart, may you be well. May you be happy, free from mental and physical harm. May you live life at ease. Now for the person closest to you, partner, friend. Bring that person to mind and open your heart. May you be well. May you be happy, free from mental and physical harm. May you live life at ease. And again, keeping that person in our heart. May you be happy. May you be free. free from mental and physical harm. May you live life at ease. For a third and final time, holding this person in our heart. May you be well. May you be happy, free from mental and physical harm. May you live life at ease. Now moving again with an open heart to a neutral person, someone you might encounter at the checkout counter, someone you pass daily but do not know. And for them, we wish them well. May they be happy, free from mental and physical harm. May they live life at ease. And for a second time, holding that person, may you be well. May you be happy, free from mental and physical harm. May you live life at ease. And for a third and final time, holding that person in our heart. May you be well. May you be happy, free from mental and physical harm. May you live life at ease. Moving now to a difficult person, someone that has challenged you, has made it hard for you. Holding them with an open heart and wishing them well, to be well. May they be happy, free from mental and physical harm. May they live life at ease. And again, holding that person, a difficult person, someone that has challenged you or caused you to suffer. May you be well. May you be happy, free from mental and physical harm. May you live life at ease. For the last time, holding this person in our heart. May you be well. May you be happy, free from mental and physical harm. May you live life at ease. Now moving and holding and embracing our families, our close friends, and expanding our hearts to hold them all and wishing them, may you be well, may you be happy, free from mental and physical harm, and may you live life at ease. And again, expanding our heart to include our families and close friends and all those who enrich our lives, wishing them well and offering that they be happy, free from mental and physical harm. May they live life at ease. And again, for all of those that we hold in our heart, dear to us, family, friends, wishing them well. May they be happy, free from mental and physical harm. May they live life at ease. And expanding our horizons for all those who have gathered here together with us this morning on this auspicious occasion of the beginning of the new year. May we be well. May we be happy, free from mental and physical harm. May we live life at ease. And again, expanding our heart to include all of us here on this auspicious occasion, being together in a heart-mind space, wishing for each other to be well, to be happy, to be free from physical and mental harm, to live this year at ease. And for a final time, holding everyone here together who have gathered on this auspicious occasion to be with us, wishing each other well. May we be happy, free from physical and mental harm. And may this year bring a life at ease. Filled with joy and happy moments. And our spiritual practice evolve and grow. and finally to expand our heart beyond our limits, to hold all beings everywhere and wish for them the same as we wished for ourselves, our dear ones, all gathered here today. May you be well. May you be happy, free from mental and physical harm. May you live life at ease. And for a second time, to expand our heart to include all beings everywhere, small, tall. May they be well. May they be happy, free from mental and physical harm, and live life at ease. And for the third and final time, we expand our hearts to include all beings everywhere. May they be well. May they be happy, free from mental and physical harm. And may we all in this journey together live life at ease. And in the closing of this practice, may we send the merit of our practice to all those in need of healing and comfort, wishing them well with tremendous gratitude and reverence. May all beings everywhere with whom we are inseparably interconnected and who want and need the same as we do, may all be liberated, healed, harmonious, fulfilled, and free. May there be peace in this world and throughout all possible universes, an end to war and violence, poverty, disease, injustice, and oppression. And may we all together complete the spiritual journey. So that was fun. I hope you, and I don't know if enjoyed is the right word, but felt the sense of the heart being expanded to share our deepest wishes of well-being with ourselves and others in a time when it's so sorely needed. Great opportunity for practice as we unfold our journeys together, um, and share these moments in that spirit. The Buddha, the direct words of the Buddha on loving kindness go like this: this is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud and demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove. Wishing in gladness and in safety, may all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings. Radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness, one should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding. By not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. This has been a large part of my practice over the years. And what is extraordinary about practice is it's called practice because you need to do it, as Surya points out. And you need to sit down and practice, or stand and practice, or lie down and practice. But after many years of doing this, the fruits of that actually blossom. So as the defilements or the kilesas are dispelled, what arises are the Brahma Viharas. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to be anywhere. They just evolve as a spiritual training and a spiritual lesson for all of us. And they flourish. And our attitudes change, and our capacities change, and our view of who we are and who others are change. And we begin to see that we're all one, interconnected, and here together doing this dance. So yeah, I think that's all I got. But I would love to hear from you if you'd like. Again, my practice has been more in the Vipassana tradition, but I've appreciated and rode along with Surya recently to experience new dimensions of my own practice. And having him as a spiritual friend along this path has really been amazing. And actually, yes, I want to read this in honor of Surya and him hosting and allowing me to do this. This is his book, Awakening the Buddha Within, one of his first of many books, and I pulled all mine off the shelf of his to try and speak, just channel him through me so that you get some of him today as well. But I read this and I was quite astounded. It's by Thich Nhat Hanh, who was a great spiritual teacher. It says, I see awakening the Buddha within as a beautiful flower blooming on a beautiful tree that is wholeheartedly committed to true inquiry and practice. Lama Das uses the appropriate language that communicate the wisdom and experience of Buddhism to the people of his times and environments. To me, this is a great achievement, and I feel deeply grateful for it. I wish Lama Das a great deal of happiness in living and sharing the Buddha Dharma in the West. So it just struck me, aside from all the fun and games that we have together and the humor and the sense of a lightness about practice and the world, that his commitment to this lineage holding and practice is extraordinary. And he carries that weight lightly. Many of you have seen him up close and intimate, and he's an extraordinary fellow. So what would you like to chat about? Nathan's up in the corner. He can, if you want to raise your hand, or if you want to just, you put something in the chat. I'd be happy to share more of my own practice. Or, oh, Elizabeth, one of my dear friends from the.
Hi, Eddie.
Hi, Elizabeth. How are you doing?
Happy New Year to you and to everyone here. It's just lovely to see you, and that was so beautiful. Thank you so much. It's a great way to start this day and all days. And I just wanted to mirror back to you what you've shared with us is so beautiful and timeless, and it never gets old. It's just wonderful every time and fresh. And thank you for bringing your special sauce to all of us today and sharing that with us. It's really wonderful. So that's all I wanted to say.
Well,
as always.
well
Okay.
said. Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm happy to be here.
Hey, we do have a question from the chat. I'll read it out here. It says, can you talk about your experiences of doubt and faith along the spiritual path?
Great question, as usual. Those are part of the defilements and the challenges we face as we go around. Interesting that early on in my own practice, I had a very unusual, actually it might resonate with some of you, but when I was young, I was 26, my wife and I had decided to take a trip. We were traveling around the world, and we were in India, and I got a bad case of hepatitis and was in a coma for 5 days in a hospital in New Delhi. And the result of that for me was an awakening. You know, I wouldn't offer that as a device for awakening, but for me, it did that. And the result of it was the only way I could put it was a certain quality of silence in my mind and body that brings death available to me, and a constant friend. And so those issues of faith and doubt went away quickly when I was very young about what I was doing, practicing. And so I never, they're not characteristics of my practice that have a lot of weight. They don't occupy a lot of space in my mind. And right now, one thing I advise all of you, don't believe your thoughts. You really don't have to. The power of them is so extraordinary and incredible. I'm giving you permission. You really don't have to believe them. And I think that those, these conditions of the mind, like this, the doubt or the faith, really are the ones that contribute to our challenges as practitioners. The mind is so capable of distorting the true nature of things that we get lost in the shadows. And I'm not sure if this answers your question, but I'm better off. Sloth and torpor are one of the defilements that really capture me better than doubt or those qualities in my own mind in terms of practice. But I really have engaged in doubt as a characteristic of my own practice and my own evolution, my own understanding of practice. And I believe it came from that initial training with that experience of almost dying and coming back, that the ability to be with death as a life force changes one's perspective on living and dying. And it's given me a gift that has been the foundation of my practice all these years. So I hope that's helpful. Anything else? Anybody? And again, along, those, is there somebody else? Nathan, you see somebody else? I see one asked to, Glenda has asked to unmute. Is that a question? Can you see that?
I was thinking about it now, Eddie. You must be clairvoyant, but I hadn't raised the hand yet.
No.
But the thought was in my mind what I was sharing. If I would share if I spoke. This is so serendipitous. Is where I'm at now is that brought me to my knees. Just brought me to blithering, crying knees. Is the actualization that there's nothing out there. There's nobody out there. And why that came to mind is I was dealing with an attachment I had, and I thought I'd let it go and come and go, but damn, it was there. And see, that's what's brilliant about our nature of mind. It will bring these things up. It'll bring them up. And if I'm aware and awake, I'll soften, relax, breathe into it. Well, anyway, I saw I had attachment, and the culmination of how I got released some from it was to recognize there's nothing out there to be attached to. What the hell am I doing? There's nothing there.
Yes.
But that really bothered me, because what? These images on the screen are not there. The universe is not here. No, it's all projections on the vast, like Dzogchen and the Natural Great Perfection, and Lama Surya says these are projections, images coming and going on this vast clear light that's the creative source. But damn, attachment happens. I jump out there and grab them, then I'll come back and relax. But anyway, it's a dance.
It is a dance. So,
but thank you.
Oh, thank you. I'll give you a little, this is relatively recent in my own practice, but the experience of being intimate and direct experience of impermanence. And with knowing impermanence, which is the nanosecond changing of reality, and knowing that things change is really, it's the anicca, dukkha, and anatta, which is the three pillars, not the three pillars, but the three conditions of existence. So impermanence is the first one that I've been practicing with. And the second one is suffering. But if there's nothing permanent, there's nothing satisfactory, that the suffering, there's nothing substantial. So the suffering is alleviated from the impermanence. By knowing impermanence, the suffering goes away. And if there's no suffering, there's no need for a self.
Yes.
There's
Wow.
no need for a self. You're in the void. You're in this, the natural perfection. So if that makes sense, those are connected to me.
Oh, yes, you came to the same connection. If it's impermanent, why am I suffering? Why am I suffering from that? It's fleeting, it's impermanent. Wow. But each person comes to their own way of this, and many times comes to it till it finally stabilizes. It's all a continuing stabilization, isn't it? I mean, really. I love
the last one, the anatta, which is no self, or not self.
Oh, yeah.
Is the most challenging.
Oh, yeah. I had to throw my body out there with it, too. There's no Glenda body. Really blithering, crying, going, what? Yeah, it's true. Thank you, Eddie. I'll be silent now.
Thank you. Sweet. Anything else on anybody's mind? Then I'll remind you again, you don't have to believe your thoughts. So I say that I've been teaching at the Insight Meditation Society. One of the things that we did is we started a retreat for teenagers, and it's now in its 50 year, and I've done most of them. But one of the things I get a good response from is telling it that they don't have to believe their thoughts, that their minds are so active at that age and the capacity for it, that it brings relief, that the suffering, some of their suffering is coming from their inability to just let go of the mental images and impressions. And it's definitely, I have a 15-year-old granddaughter that's experiencing some of that. And I think Elizabeth and her work with the Kid Spirit is very much in tune with trying to bring space, spaciousness, I would say, in their lives in terms of the work that they do together and how they communicate and how they express themselves. It's a beautiful thing to experience. I have 3 sons and 5 grandchildren. And so life has been quite a whirlwind of practice. And my practice has been, of a layperson. There have been moments of like, well, what about being a monk or doing something like that? But I've really found my practice in every day, in every moment of day. Yes, a question. I see a hand. Mel.
Yes, hi, Eddie. I was very struck by your description of getting to know death, being at one with death, whatever way you phrased it, during your coma. I'm now 76 years old. I think I've done everything I need to do in my life. I'm not kind of concerned about it, proving anything else to anybody. I've had a bunch of symptoms and I'm going through a million tests, and I may or may not have serious fatal disease.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm fine with that. And it's very hard. What's hard is people find it so hard to accept that in me.
Mm-hmm.
My wife understands me. That's okay. But you go out somewhere, you talk to people. It's hard for people to understand that. Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. I guess to use a strange phrase, I can live with that. And I guess, have you had the same kinds of experience?
Yes. And I tend, this sharing actually that experience for me, many times Suri and I have talked about it, but it's not something that I, is in my normal conversation with people. And I think the challenge, and for a long time, I never said anything about it, but what it does is it allows you to be an example of someone who's come to peace with the, living life, knowing that death is part of that cycle. And so your vibration will be a positive force for others to, in your own way. You don't, clearly people can resist or react to it because how could you be that way? But you can. I have a dear friend who wrote a book about how you can be well even if you're sick. And it's a commentary on, she was a cancer survivor, and it's a commentary on that the impermanence can unfold just as it should and will, and the spiritual perspective can remain detached from that experience and can share the vibratory state of being alive. And I think that it really helps others. So, I think that you can, that example, that just being who you are in that state without questioning, that's where the mental piece comes in. Well, if people respond to you, say, well, then maybe not, maybe I am suffering. maybe this is really doing me in, and the mind is going to go to that place. But if you can avoid that, it's really helpful to others, because it's a difficult place for many of us to go. Especially, we had a miracle in my family this year. My wife was diagnosed with Parkinson's, and she had been declining. It was a neuromuscular response, declining, a lot of slowing down, slowing down. We went to see different doctors who we appreciated, and she finally felt comfortable enough to take this drug. There's a drug, Cinemet, for Parkinson's, and if it works, it works. Next day, all her symptoms were gone. Next day. I mean, it's just what, this is in the miracle category of stuff. And it's possible. And that these attitudes, this spaciousness that one can have in it, shows that miracles are possible. And it's just a spiritual practice that's making the miracle happen. It's really a benefit to all. So keep it up. Keep it up. Yeah, it's great. Thank you.
Edward, if you'd like to unmute, you can go ahead.
Hi. I resonated a lot to the sloth and torpor. Clean? Why? But anyway, and I've sort of quoted lately this, what I was told by a teacher once, that the seeds of the perfections are contained within the defilements. And, I like the idea that just the dropping away, will enable this flowering of the one, enables the flowering. And I guess I don't want to be, contrived in my, becoming a nice guy or something. But then again, I do have a sloth and torpor issue. But actually, so anyway, I'm trying to move from an intellectual playing with it to, an actual embodiment of that kind, so I feel like I've made a little progress with this. But what I wanted to mention was that I mentioned, I think, once on this meditation, that we do, that I had, I guess it was a dream where I was at one of my teachers who's passed on, and I don't dream about him, but anyway, I came up to Roger Weir and said, Roger, I was at his class, in his house. I said, Roger, I just had this insight. Well, actually, but it was like a conviction, not an insight. I said that the quote inside mind activity is completely identical to the outside world of form, completely. And it doesn't. I don't. And again, it was a conviction. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, projection makes perception, which is a teaching in Course in Miracles, which I follow also. But so, and then there was a corollary kind of conviction that there is a city with that, in the sense of faith, like a grain of mustard seed, that one could, really affect the saguna from the nirguna. I like Nisargadatta a lot. He's nirguna and saguna, the void and the manifestation. But anyway, so I bring it up, partly I bring it up because I'm not immune to spiritual pride. And I want to say, hey, I'm pretty hot stuff. I just had this cool insight. So I have to, I'm going to pull my covers on that one. But also, just my thought was, okay, what next? Okay, so there's that as the void, and there's that as a manifestation, and now what? So I was kind of wondering, what's the next thing that I'm gonna dawn on me that's gonna be auspicious, or whatever. I mean, so I don't know if you have any comment on any of that, and I've talked quite a bit, so I'm gonna be silent. Okay, for a moment. Yeah.
Great. I appreciate that sharing. One is try not to be too clever about it. That's the mind getting in the way. The other one, what's possible, is a deep contentment. That the word, for me, my experience when I got to that place was just a total contentment. That the experience of it going away, of the descending of all the concepts was sort of a natural great perfection, but it's just one of deep contentment and presence. And so I wish that for you, that could come as a result of what you shared. But it sounds great. And I was very surprised with the insight that the Brahma-Viharas and other natural positive states just blossom.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a
Yeah, I do. Thankfully, I do find that I can just, another teacher that I have, where he would talk about, and it's just like, I just am like the hawk is there when I'm on a walk, and there's just no separation, and I'm not paraphrasing, but it's like, yeah, to just drop all the story, don't take those files of identity off the shelf in the morning and wear one. Take a face from the ancient gallery, as the Doors song goes, no. And there can be a little fear in that, but it's just to walk down the street and that to be enough, I mean, it's like, what a non-concept, so anyway, yeah, thank you.
So we're getting there to the time, which has been amazing, but I'll wrap it up with the Buddha's words on his awakening, which was in a good friend of mine, Joseph Goldstein's book called One Dharma. But I traveled through the rounds of countless births, seeking but not finding the builder of this house. Sorrowful is birth again and again. O house builder, you have now been seen. You will build no house again. Your rafters, the defilements, have been broken. Your ridgepole, ignorance, shattered. My mind has attained the unconditioned. Achieved is the end of craving. So that should do it for all of you. Give you something to spend the rest of the day on, and enjoy your lovely and auspicious moments in this new year. And may you all live life at ease. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eddie. This has been great. Please check out the link to register for next weekend's one-day retreat. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you. Blessings all around.